Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News. Thank you for tuning in to the Evening News Rundown. Hopefully, you had a wonderful Father's Day weekend. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Now, jumping into the world reports for COVID-19, you guys know we like to bring the latest numbers from the World Health Organization, numbers here in the US, and numbers in the state of Florida. So, globally speaking, the World Health Organization is currently reporting over 8.8 million confirmed cases and over 465,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, according to Johns Hopkins University, we're seeing close to 2.3 million confirmed cases and over 120,000 confirmed deaths. In the state of Florida, according to the Florida Department of Health's dashboard, we have finally broken the 100,000 mark in terms of confirmed cases, and we are at over 3,100 confirmed deaths. Now, for your world story today, Germany is also the next country to see an increase in cases. And the more specific report here is the reproduction rate, or the rate at which people can infect other people, the spread of the disease. So previously, the rate was at 1.79. As of right now, the rate is 2.88. So in other words, for 100 people who test positive for COVID-19, they can then spread the disease to 288 people in the nation of Germany. That is a high rate. So if you're over there and you're watching from over there, please be careful. Please continue to be careful. Now, the rate that is needed to keep the virus under control there is less than 1. So for it to be 2.88 is a point of concern, particularly for Chancellor Angela Merkel, who wanted to actually keep the lockdown a little bit longer, but she received pressure from regional leaders to reopen the country in order to reboot the economy, because Germany is Europe's largest economy. So they felt it was very important for folks to be able to get back to work, for things to return to as close to normal as possible. Now, very recently, they actually traced 1,300 confirmed cases back to a slaughterhouse in Gütersloh. So that is also a point of concern. The region that Gütersloh is in, which is called North Rhine-Westphalia, that area has actually quarantined 7,000 people in a push to kind of contain the COVID-19 cases within that area. So they have closed down the schools and kindergartens there, or daycare centers as we would know them. And again, 7,000 people under quarantine. So again, if you're over there or planning to go over there, please be careful. Now, jumping to the US, we're seeing younger and younger cases in the southern states of COVID-19. The reports are listing Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and even Mississippi seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases among younger people. There's an increase in testing. The health officials in the various states are citing an increase in testing, but also an increase in people not necessarily taking the social distancing precautions as advised. So in Texas, Governor Abbott there, he traced some new cases back to Memorial Day parties, bars, and other gatherings. And the rate was people 30 years old and younger in the state of Texas. Here in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis mentioned that the median age for the most recent cases is 37 years old. And since June 7th, the cases have been 62% people 45 years old and younger for the state of Florida. So again, folks, continue to be careful, continue to heed the health guidelines, social distancing, washing your hands and hand sanitizer, and wearing your masks. It's all about safety. It's all about keeping everyone healthy while the nation continues to get back to normal, or as close to normal as is possible. Now, jumping to the state of Florida specifically, you heard us touch on what Governor Ron DeSantis reported a moment ago. Now, as of right now, testing is being ramped up in the state of Florida. As of right now, 1.5 million tests have been administered. 6% of those tests have come back positive. So obviously the ramp up was as a result of this past weekend, because this past weekend we saw the largest single day record, which was Saturday, at 4,049 from Friday to Saturday. So that was a huge spike for 24 hours. So of course, ramping up testing is important. And again, keeping the social distancing and health guidelines in place. As of right now, as testing sites go, the Orange County Convention Center has become a very popular testing site, with wait times up to an hour between tests, because folks want to make sure that they either don't have it or they want to also get the antibody test to prove whether or not they've been exposed to it. So that does it for our COVID-19 stories. So we're going to take one quick commercial break and come back with a couple of non-COVID-19 stories for you guys. We'll be back.
All this time we fought side by side. We trained together. We lost together. And now, you're the only one standing in my way. It's been a while, old friend.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Now, a couple of non-COVID-19 stories for you. We jump to New York, where there is actually a push to remove a President Teddy Roosevelt statue from the American Museum of Natural History there. The statue is located across the street from the museum, and in the past, there has been a push to remove it because of what folks are calling a racist undertone with President Teddy Roosevelt on horseback and a Native American and African American flanking him on foot. So Mayor Bill de Blasio actually released a statement in support of the removal of the statue, saying that it has been a, quote, problematic statue and, has promoted racism. So he is all in favor of removing it. The museum is ready to remove it. However, President Donald Trump did take to Twitter and state his disapproval, saying, quote, ridiculous, don't do it. However, we wanted to present this to you guys with the question of the day. We wanted to find out from you, what are your thoughts on the removal of that statue? Is that another step in the right direction? Do you feel it's a bit much? Leave us your comments below. Either way, however you feel about it, we love to interact with you guys and share your comments with our viewing audience as well. Now, jumping back down here to the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is actually clamping down even further on bear poaching in the state of Florida. This is one of 21 bills that crossed his desk for signing on Saturday. But with regards to hunting black bears, this was a once threatened species back in the 70s. It was down to the low hundreds. So with much activism and legal changes, the species has been able to repopulate. And as of right now, there are over 4,000 of the species here. Now, there was a hunt that was allowed in 2015 to kind of bring the population back down. However, within 2 days, 304 bears were killed. So the bear activists decided to kind of sound their concerns. And in their mind, the restrictions on bear poaching was less stringent than even hunting turkeys or other animals. So they wanted to push for something that was a little stricter. So the bill that Governor DeSantis signed increases the fine for poaching from $500 to $750, and the suspension of a license from only 1 year to now 3 years. So that is a new update in terms of anyone that is illegally hunting the black bears. So for those who are environmental champions, that is a win in their book. Now, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we're going to bring you the business and sports stories. So stay tuned.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Now, for your business story, the cruise lines here will choose to extend the suspension of their operations till mid-September, specifically September 15th. The Cruise Lines International Association, or CLIA, they made that official announcement for the voluntary suspension of U.S. operations specifically. Now, several of the cruise lines that are included in the CLIA organization include Disney, Carnival, Holland America, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, and Princess Cruises. So if you're someone who is looking forward to jumping back on a cruise for the summer, you'll have to wait. You'll have to hold off on that until September 15th. That is the agreed upon date. Now, in the previous agreement with the CDC, originally cruises were going to restart back on July 24th, but they decided to go ahead and do that extension in an effort to continue their work with the CDC and continue to cooperate with the CDC so that they can safely reopen collectively the cruise industry here in the United States. Now, jumping to our sports story, you likely heard over the weekend that Bubba Wallace found a noose in his Talladega garage for the Geico 500, originally scheduled for yesterday, but was postponed to today due to inclement weather. Now, NASCAR has released a statement announcing that they're going to investigate that noose that was planted in his garage. And as part of their statement, they mentioned, quote, late this afternoon, NASCAR was made aware that a noose was found in the garage stall of the 43 team. We are angry and outraged and cannot state strongly enough how seriously we take this heinous act. We have launched an immediate investigation and will do everything we can to identify the persons responsible and eliminate them from the sport. So NASCAR is taking this very seriously. They, of course, moved in support of Bubba Wallace, who spoke out recently in terms of the police brutality and racism and wanted all the Confederate flags to be removed from NASCAR, and NASCAR went ahead and did that. So this appears to be some pushback from that. Obviously, we'll let you guys draw your conclusions there. However, Bubba Wallace, in response to finding the noose there, said, quote, "This will not break me. I will not give in, nor will I back down. I will continue to proudly stand for what I believe in," end quote. So that is the bit of excitement there. And while we don't have a photo for you guys here, there was someone who was flying a Confederate flag over the area where the race was supposed to take place with a banner that read, quote, "Defund NASCAR." So that was very interesting. But stay tuned. We're going to take one more quick commercial break and come back with our final story for the day, which is our entertainment story. Come back.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing, so good, as in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
All right, guys, thanks for continuing to tune in. Welcome back. Now, for our entertainment story, it's a quick one, but you likely heard from Thursday, Jimmy Kimmel's announcing he is taking the summer off. He made the announcement during his show on Thursday night. He basically said, "Hey, I've been doing this for 18 years. I've shot 3,130 shows." And he made sure to let his audience know there's nothing wrong. He's healthy, his family's healthy, which is great news, but he just wants to take a couple of months off. So, hey, with those kind of numbers under your belt, Jimmy, you definitely deserve a summer break. He wanted to spend a little more time with his family, despite already having been home and, shooting episodes of his show from home. So the 2-week hiatus for the show begins today. And then after the 2-week hiatus, they will begin to roll out a slate of guest hosts for Jimmy while he's taking that vacation time off with his family. And this vacation time will probably be necessary because he is slated to host the Emmys, which is scheduled to air on September 20th. So congrats to Jimmy Kimmel on that. Now, before we wrap, I do want to share a quick Facebook comment. Shout out to Michelle DeBoer Nunley, who asked a question. The biggest problem in the Black community is the absence of fathers. Will taking the statue down keep families together, stop Black on Black crime, help low-income children do better in school? And that's a good question, or I should say that is a series of good questions. Michelle, thank you so much for dropping your comment. We appreciate you. And hey, guys, continue the conversation. Feel free to address Michelle's question. Thank you so much for leaving that comment, for taking the time to tune in, Michelle. We appreciate you. As for everyone else, thank you for tuning in. That does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. And be sure to tune in here at Florida National News because it is Monday. So be sure to tune in. Casey will be here for the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. So she'll be here 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with more sports stories for you. And continue to tune in because if you're a small business, we're still offering free commercial spots. If you haven't reached out to us already, be sure to reach out at jennifer.rosario@floridanationalnews.com to be sure to, let us know about your business and what kind of commercials you have. We're looking for 15-second or 30-second video commercial spots. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet on YouTube. You'll find us at Florida National News. You'll find us on Facebook at Florida National News, at FNN News Live, or at FNN News TV. And you'll find us at Instagram at Florida National News on Instagram as well. That does it for me. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning in.